All right, let's get into the last team of the Pacific Division in our long series of videos here. Is the Vegas Golden Knights, who are currently 5,794,000 over in cap space. So there's some moves they're gonna have to make here.
Well, depending on some of these injuries.
I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true.
Most of them are like unknown. Like unknown. Yeah. Are they on vacation for a year? They're planning to go to Tesla and go to space or something. Like they're right now, we don't know how these injuries are going to affect the team. I
mean, yeah, Mark Stone's unknown, and that's a $9 million cap hit. Right, Mike, unknown. Oh no! Week to week. Oh no! Oh god damn it! This is hard. Yeah, this is hard. So, I mean, like, okay. Let's go with the theory that and I think honestly, some of this is cap shenanigans. That's why it's unknown. But they need to get rid of someone.
Yeah.
Point blank. Like, it's got to be someone within the top line. Like, if I'm looking at a piece, I look at Riley Smith. See ya.
What is it? How do you say it?
Marchessault. I like how I can say that one, but I can't say the other ones. Whatever.
Yeah, so, I think they trade off Marchessault and Riley Smith, in my opinion, this season.
I mean, that'd probably be smart, so they can go and just have a fresh start. But like, let's go into this roster, right?
Yep.
So Jack Eichel, 34 games played, 14 goals, 11 assists for 25 points. Like, for a guy that took a whole year off of hockey due to an injury, I think that's pretty good.
Supposed injury.
He got neck surgery, bro. What?
Bro, I think he was ready. He was ready at some point, and he just said, nah, I'm good. Because, let's face it, he didn't want to be in Buffalo. He did not like Buffalo anymore. He wanted out. Everybody knew this. Everybody was just wondering, like, who was he going to go to? What team was he going to be traded to?
I get what you're saying, but yeah. The fight was over the medical procedure. Like that, and like at some point, like players got to have the right to do a procedure they feel like. I can see both sides here. Jack Eichel wants to get this thing done that was never been done before with hockey players. So I understand why Buffalo's like, well, I don't know about that, but Jack Eichel's like, well, I'm living in day-to-day pain, right? So I think with Jack Eichel, kind of like he's got a reputation allegedly of being kind of a douchebag. So I'm not saying that's not true. I think there's some validity to what you're saying in that regard, but it's a neck injury that can be very serious. I don't know. I'm just very leery of kind of, knocking a guy for that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh yeah, no. I definitely don't knock him. What I'm saying is, I think that he was ready to go before they said he was ready to go. He just at that point he was so done with the team. He just wanted out at any cost.
Fair.
And just said, you know what, you guys aren't letting me do this or didn't want me to do this or whatever the case is. You guys don't care about it, so I don't care about you. And let's try to get me out of here. And that's where I think all the bad blood stemmed from. And it was one of those. It was like, listen, he's just not going to play for them. I think that if he was still on there, he didn't get traded, he still would have been recovering from his team, from his surgery.
I don't disagree. I think I feel bad because I think Buffalo is a fantastic pace to play as a hockey player. I mean, they love them some Buffalo Sabres. Mm-hmm. That fan base is ravenous. So Buffalo Sabre fans, if you're watching this, I'm as a Bruins fan, I gotta respect your dedication.
Hi, Joey.
And loyalty.
I have a friend named Joey who's a hardcore Sabres fan, and trust me, we go at it at words when it comes to the Rangers versus Buffalo all the time.
I mean, they're the true New York team.
Oh God, I need you to stop there. They're a New York State team. They're not a New York City team.
Well, to be fair, Buffalo has the only actual New York football team. That's a whole different discussion. So,
oh God,
you got Chandler Stevenson slotted right here. 79 games played, 21 goals, 43 assists, 64 points. Yeah, Jack Eichel, I mean, that's a good point production, about 3/4, so 0.75 points per game. Mark Stone, when he played, 0.81 points per game with 30 points in 37 games. You have Jonathan Marchessault, 66 points. William Karlsson had kind of a down year, 35 points, 67 games. Riley Smith, 38 points in 56 games. Like, that's not bad, actually, looking at his points per game total. William Carrier, Nolan Patrick. This is unknown, right? It's probably going to be freaking unknown. Yes, it's unknown. So, Nicholas Roy. I mean, I look up front. I mean, they have to shave cap somewhere, so I think one of these guys on the second line is going to be gone. Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be one of the wings instead of the center, because the center is the youngest player and center is the hardest position to get, in my opinion. But I think this team looks okay up front. It's got potential, right? If Jack Eichel and Mark Stone can play a whole season, it's got potential to be dynamic. But the problem is are they going to be healthy? Are they going to be there? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this top six, and they look like a threat, right? They look like they could definitely do something. But obviously, again, you have to refer to the top of the division. Top of the division, those guys are going to be scoring this in half the season. Everything that these guys are scoring, it'll only take them half the season to get there.
I mean, listen, let's be honest. Draisaitl and McDavid outscore both their lines.
That is a fact.
That is crazy. I'm thinking about it in my head. Yeah, like, because 60. Yeah. Wow, that is wild. Yeah, so Draisaitl, McDavid, and more. And look, that's not to knock Vegas fans. We're not knocking your team. Like, those dudes are just phenomenal talents. Yeah. But I mean, like, you put me and Fajardo on their line, we might get 40, 50 points. I'm just saying.
So it's one of those situations where you guys have Vegas has good players, good lines. Obviously, a lot of has to be determined based on these injuries and whether these guys are coming back. But at this point, you want to keep that younger core together, which is pretty much everybody. Marchessault and Smith are the two guys who are old, and they're not even old, right? Like, they're 31.
No. Yeah, they got 5-6 years left of good hockey.
Right, but they're at the tail end of their prime, most likely, right? I think Marchessault could still put up a lot of points. Riley, same thing. It's just you need something, right? The cap is one thing, and then you need something more. I think something that's going to put you over the edge.
Yeah, I think if Jack Eichel can live up to his potential, maybe that's the guy that puts you over the edge.
Right.
I don't know. I just know one of these players is going to have to be on LTIR, or they're going to have to trade one of them. Like, they can't make it up front unless they make a move on defense. And let's actually get into the defense.
Yep.
You got Alec Martinez at a 5.25 cap hit at 8 points in 26 games played. Alex Pietrangelo, 80 games played, 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points. Brandon McNabb, 69 games played, 3 goals, 15 assists, 18 points. You had Shea Theodore, 70 games played, 14 goals, 38 assists for 52 points. So he's obviously the point producer from the point. Then you got Ben Hutton, 58 games played, 3 goals, 10 assists, 13. Zach Whitecloud, 59 game played, 8 goals, 11 assists, 19 points, and all had pretty decent plus minuses. Nothing else like a wild, but for how the team finished, pretty decent. What they could possibly do, and this would be a difficult contract to move, would be Alex Pietrangelo. Can't even say names today, I guess. At 8.8 million. I mean, you could try to move him if you need that cap. I think that's a hard contract to move. I think Shea Theodore would be easier to move, but I think Shea Theodore's a really good defenseman. I love his game. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't see the point of moving a guy like that.
Yeah.
I think their decor is pretty solid, though.
It's pretty solid, but I would say they'd have to reevaluate halfway through the season where they are and what their realistic expectations are.
True.
Just because Alec Martinez, he's 35, right?
Yep.
You may look at him and be like, all right, cool. We're gonna have to do something different, and we may have to get younger on the back end, right? Alex Pietrangelo, 32. Again, it's not old in realistic times, but in hockey times with defense.
Yeah, you're getting older.
You're getting older, and not to say he's not on top of his game or anything like that, because obviously he's playing very well. He's putting up points. He played the entire season just about, missed only 2 games. You know, he can still do it, but it's one of those situations of like, will he still matter when you get all the other pieces together? Right?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know what I mean? Like right now, you're good, right? And you might be able to sneak into the playoffs and maybe make a difference here or there, whatever the case is. Maybe get past the first round. Maybe these are all maybes, right? Yeah. There's no definites. And you take a look at these guys. You say, all right, cool. If we don't make it, or we're not in line to make it even to the playoffs by halfway through the season, do we sell these guys off, lower our cap hits, and get, you know, possible guys that can, you know, be a third line, you know, third defensive pairing, so on, and that you can build on, that are young and maybe show promise and build on that. Because at that point, these guys are pretty much going to be non-factors in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you got to evaluate the end of the season where you're at before the deadline, and then maybe move one of these guys to a contender, right? Someone that's looking for that next piece. I mean, honestly, quite frankly, that's what you can do with Mike Riley and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting to see how long Stone or Smith are out. Mike Riley, I'm sorry, Riley Smith. I'm thinking of my goddamn defenseman. Mark Stone and Riley Smith, that'd be interesting to see. And then you got Pietrangelo, Martinez. Why am I having such a difficulty pronouncing it? Whatever.
Pietrangelo?
Pietrangelo.
Oh my God, Pietrangelo, bro. Pietrangelo.
I can't. It's whatever. His name is Petey. I don't give a crap. So let's go to goaltender before, you know, I can butcher this any further. Robin Lehner had a down year. He's out for the season, though.
Yep. Again.
That actually, like, 907 save percentage, 23 wins, 17 losses. Like, he played okay. He had a down year. Laurent Brunssot, unknown. Oh my! Like, does Vegas? Oh, whatever. 24 games played, 2.9.
They're not injured. They're in the casinos in Vegas. That's
true. It's the alcoholism. It's the unknown.
They're lost there.
895 save percentage, not great. I mean, so Leonard's out for this. Hold on. Let me make sure of that. Next season, I gotta figure this out, because if that's true, that dramatically changes my opinion on them.
Of course, that's gonna make a break at that point, because again, not having that back end being solid is gonna be tough for any team.
Yeah. Now thinking about it, man, I don't know if this is out for this next upcoming season. Some of these things, because Mark Stone, he had to, yeah. So I don't know if he's actually out for next season. Kind of looking at that, I apologize. I'm just trying to make.
Right here, I have the surgery. He had shoulder surgery. He's out for this season.
This upcoming season, he's out?
Yeah, because they talked about it on April 25th. There's an article. Robin Lehner is out for the rest of the season.
Well, we just kind of looked into it. Sorry for the stop in action. Wanted to make sure that we had the correct information. So some of this stuff on Cap Friendly is from last season. So Robin Lehner looks like he will be returning. He will be able to play next season. So that kind of affects my, you know, standing of them somewhat. But I do think Brunssot, it doesn't look like a great backup. Sub 900 save percentage doesn't look great. So that might be a weakness. I mean, you do have Michael Hutchinson in the minors. He's like kind of been proven to be a decent third rotational guy. But then you also Logan Thompson's down there, 25 years old, had 19 games last season, 914 save percentage, 2.68. Maybe he competes for that backup spot. No, backup, because if Leonard's playing.
Well, we don't know when he'll come back.
There's not much. Yeah.
Right. There's not much update on it. He did have shoulder injury as the season came to an end. So I know that Cap Friendly says that he's out for the season. It may not be the next season. That's definitely for the rest of the previous season last year, 21 to 22. But there is no expected time for him to come back in the next season. So we'll have to sit and wait on that.
So I think it will be probably, if Leonard's out at the beginning of the season, it's probably going to be a Thomas Brassard tandem.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not even. I honestly would say Thompson and Hutchinson would move up, and I would not worry about whatever happens with Brassard at all.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's more there, sense. We're just not saying. Yeah, if there's just, I don't know, because Hutchinson's good in spots, right? Like, but even last year he struggled in his 2 games. So, I mean, I think it's going to be open competition to beginning of the roster. So, I mean, let's go. Let's kind of go right into the standings itself here. So, I mean, Vegas finished decent last season. I mean, not as good as some people thought they would. I mean, looking at their roster, going after it, we've evaluated all teams at this point. They finished 4th last year with 94 points. Where do you realistically believe they're going to fall?
With Leonard, they'll be fighting for that 3rd spot with Vancouver. But they're pretty much going to stay in that 4th spot. Without Leonard, they drop down to 6th.
Yeah, I think this is hard to judge for me because I don't know when Leonard, like, if let's just say Leonard comes back a week or 2 in the season, right? Then I think realistically that's essentially a full season. He'll get majority of the starts, and I think Leonard's a very good starter in the NHL. So I think you're going to see some improvement there. But if Leonard is out for a significant amount of time, I don't have much faith in those goaltenders. I mean, maybe Logan Thompson proves me wrong. Maybe Hutchinson has that magic like he has from time to time. But I don't see much there. So I think they're actually going to probably finish. This is tough. I think 5th or 6th. I think around 5th or 6th. I think even with Leonard, I don't know if he's going to be back in time. The team has some holes. I mean, I think 5th or 6th is not out of the question for them.
That we need to see who comes back from these injuries, and
it's such a hard team to judge because there's so many people out.
Unknown injuries. just send somebody to the casino to pick them up, please. That's it. They'll be back. But I mean, you're right. With so many injuries, I mean, both the goalies are injured, right? I mean, Brassard is unknown, so those other 2 guys, who are they? Hutchinson and Thompson are technically automatically brought up to the starting and backup role. They'll figure out who starts and who will be the backup. But it's kind of like a whitewash for them. Like, you just don't know which is going to go. If these guys, if all these injuries pan out and all these guys are healthy, they still have the next problem, which is the cap space.
Yeah, right? And then they're going to have to deal with one of those players to make a room available so they have everyone be compliant.
Exactly.
I mean, it's such a, oh my God, it's such a pain in the ass. Because the only way they make space is if they trade like a Smith or something for like prospects and stuff. Like nobody that's going to affect your NHL cap space. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a very difficult deal to see for me, but I think 5th or 6th. I think realistically is where they'll finish, just because I don't know. I mean, if everyone comes back and they're ready for the season, I could see 4th place. But that's my opinion. So, anything else you gotta say before we get out of here?
No, that's it, man.
All right, man. So I want to say big thank you to everyone that has subscribed to the channel. It has been really fun kind of doing these breakdowns and, bringing forth this content. Like, me and Fajardo, man, we just enjoy talking hockey. Yes, I mean, like, this is stuff we would do all the time. We were just, like, playing games, like video games or something, or just talking on the phone. We'd be talking about teams and stuff and trades. And as this channel continually evolves, we're going to bring in other sports as well. But hockey is something we're both extremely passionate about. And I'm really glad to see you guys enjoy this content. So if you have watched this far into the video, I would greatly appreciate if you could like, comment, and subscribe. We're looking to continually grow. We're going to be going into a multitude of different sports, but we're also going to keep up this hockey content for the whole year. So
our next show is going to be based off the Central Division. We're probably going to split up the same way, where we do half the division for in a part 1, and then do a part 2 with the second half of the division. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And again, comment, let us know if there's anything that we missed. We appreciate some of the comments on, things that we may have missed, or maybe some things you want us to look at. But we're here to expand our knowledge in hockey, and hopefully expand yours as well. So come on in and join the party.
So I'm Captain Paul. That's Fajardo. See you in the next one. That beat.
Oh yeah.